All right, so this is module number 3. This is part D, as in Dan or David or dog or whatever letter D that you can come up with. But this is the beginning. We're going to pick up where we left off with it. And I've been playing with this, and I don't feel right with the right comfortable in this. The -4 is the X, so I'm okay with that. 3 is the Y, which is above the 0 with it. Let me do a negative. Let's try a negative 10. See where that gives us with as well in the Z-axis. It pushes a little further into the Z-axis with it. I think I can live with this for now with it, right? The key thing is what we're going to do is we're going to look at the third-party register component, third-party components with it. So in the Word document instruction, I gave you some URL. This is the part with it. You can copy this for me. Just copy that one, either this link or this link. It will take you to the same one with it. Both of the links will take you to the same page with it. My point on saying that is copy it. It will redirect all the stuff with it. Find a blank page that you want to tab, paste it in there with it, and all these are all built by people that they upload to GitHub, and you can use their A-frame component. And there's a lot of these things that's down here with it as well with it. So you're welcome to look through it. I don't care how you want to do it. But the one we're looking for is animation, is what I'm interested in here. It's this one right here with it as well. So click on animation. In this animation, they tell you how this works with it, okay? If you look at the properties on the left over, the ones that we will be working with are the to and the from. So from a position to a position where the light comes across, we have to give it some proper coordinates. So we are interested in these two properties with it. We're also interested in something like maybe a direction is where to and from with it, and other things maybe we'll look at something as the position moves across this with it. But more important, remember in Web 2 or Web 1, Web Design 1, if you had me, you talked about a way how to use Bootstrap. Remember that? So Bootstrap is basically loading in. I want to be able to learn how to use this code to load in a certain library file that's already pre-made already. So if you remember, in your code, you already have some of this already. You should have this already, okay? This part is this part right here. This is your script right here, right? Your A-frame minimum JavaScript with it. Excuse me. With it. Excuse me. Hold on. But what I'm interested in is this right here, is the JavaScript. This is the one that is the Bootstrap file that I cause with it. So highlight that second one that I have on this page right here. Highlight it, right mouse click on it, copy, jump back to your index page, and you're going to paste that underneath here. Okay, so make sure you're going to pull in, this is the head section, and it's going to load two files. The library, excuse me, the library file, for your A-frame with it, and the second one is the third-party component that you're going to load into as well. Come back to this page for me. What I'm interested, all of this shows you can copy and paste this and demo this as well with it, but I'm interested in some of these properties up here. More important, how can I put this code into the animation with it? And I want for you to focus on this section right here with it. Let me focus on here and how this explains with it as well. Base name is animation, right? Base name is animation. So everything you have here is the base name. We can attach multiple animation to one entity by name spacing the component with double underscore. So if you notice here, there's two underscore And then the second, you can give it a 2, color, whatever it's a trivial name. You can call it XYZ, banana, apple, grapes, whatever it is. That could be after the 2 underscore. So in this case, they call it 2. They call this one color with it, but it has to be 2 underscores. So remember now, the base name is animation with it, right? All these have base names animation with it as well. And then you give it a property and positions. That's what we're going to do with it, right? So what I'd like for you to do is, I'm too lazy to do this, so I'll probably will copy this part right here. Just highlight that, copy it, Control C, copy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight, I'm going to use this attribute and highlight this one right here, animation. I'm just going to do one animation, and I'm going to use the syntax over here. So I'm going to highlight it, copy it, jump back to my index page. I'm going to place it under my position with it, right? In my position that I have the property, and I need to give it, instead of rotation, I'm not going to rotate it, but I need to use the, if you recall how I used the position from and to with it. So I'm going to come up here, here is the from, right? And then I'm going to use this property. It tells you where I want to start and where I want to go to the target value with this as well. So the from and to, both of these things are, this is the one I'm going to use. So I jump back to here into my index page. Take out the word rotation right here for me with it. So inside the rotation with it, I'm going to give it, it's going to be position, right? And the position, I'm going to use a semicolon. Make sure it's a semicolon after the position. This is a colon after the properties, and then the position is a semicolon with it. Move that over, still inside my double quotes with it. I'm going to do from, colon. I have to use the same position where it starts as -4, 3, -10. Copy it. Paste it, right? And then I'm going to come over to put a semicolon on that. And then I'm going to do the 2, colon. And then I'm going to do, it's going to move, think about this, this is moving from -4 to the -4, and you're moving to the right, so it makes it positive. So -4, -3, -1, basically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I'm going to take that same position, but just get rid of the 4. And still in the number 3. You see how that just transitioned over? Not really completely done yet with it, and I need to put a semicolon after that with it. And the second thing I need to actually do is to give it, go back to give it a direction here. Let's see, dir, dir. Here it is. I just gave this a direction of to and from with it, right? So I just gave that direction to it. So let's look at our index. So it moved from left to right. Still missing some stuff with it. Let me go back to the property page with it. See what I can do. Here's a loop right here that I need to set. And if I set to true, the properties loop and the value is true. And I'm going to come back over here, go inside of this after the semicolon in that. I'm going to say loop equal, let me move this to the right a little bit, loop colon true semicolon. Okay, and you can see how that loops, but still doesn't look right with it. I want to, let's go back to the here, and it shows me, well, this looks like is there's a duration or direction here. Look, there's a direction which goes from to, and if I scroll to the right a little bit, there is also an alternate or a reverse. I'm going to use the alternate, okay? So jump back to your code. I'm going to do direction dir colon alternate semicolon. and you could see how this comes back and forth in that in the light, how it actually comes back and forth with it. Okay. Let me show you this, and then I'll show you the code in a second, but I want to make sure that you see this thing moving back and forth in this animation with it. All right. Now, come back to here for me for a moment. Matter of fact, let me just turn this off so I can show you the entire code. Okay. So what's new in this one right here is line 7. You copy and paste the, I call it the kind of bootstrap, that if you did bootstrap design with it. It's just a library file that's I call a third component that's actually coming in that somebody developed. And if you look at the light sphere, this is what we end up doing with it to make it look like this with it. So it's a light sphere, ID's light sphere geometry, light type is point with it, position -4, 3, -10. And the animation property is position. And from -4, 3, -10, 2, 4, 3, just going to a +4 with these type of properties and values with it. Okay, so take a second to make sure your screen looks like this. Okay, so I don't want, so it looks kind of like this. Okay, cool. It's getting almost 12 minutes, so I'm going to stop. This concludes part D of module 3.